Okay, I'm sorry. I always thought chilaquiles was served with eggs, and I ordered them, and I could swear I got them with eggs the last time I ordered them at this restaurant. There are no eggs. It's just the weirdest thing. Like, even on the computer, there's a picture of it with an egg on top, but when I Wikipedia it, eggs is not listed as an ingredient, so that's kind of weird. Maybe I'm missing something here. Maybe chilaquiles were always just the chips, but in my world, my reality, they were always a breakfast food. They were like chips and egg. It almost sounds British. Chips and egg. Let's see, now she brought me one. An egg. And it's over hard. And it doesn't even look like an egg. So this is again how they're messing with reality. Just kidding. It looks like a pastry. It actually looks like a cinnamon roll. Weird, weird, weird. Oh, the gustatorial incursions of the new reality. Or the perceived new reality. I don't know. Maybe I just never paid that much attention before. But in my world, chilaquiles always came with an egg. That's how they were distinguished from other Mexican dishes with chips. Oh my god, you guys. And now that I think of it, see, I ordered these chilaquiles yesterday. And these over here are the chips. Now, the egg was put on the side, and then the rice and then the black beans were put all on the side. They were like all lined up in a row. And when I ordered the chilaquiles from Cactus Taco, I was like, oh yay, they're gonna put the scrambled eggs next to them, because they asked me how I wanted my eggs. And normally they just either put them on top and they don't care what you want, they just put the egg on there, or they'll just scramble them and put them up inside. But they're just not doing that anymore. And so for the past 2 days, I've been eating chilaquiles, and I've been eating them all wrong compared to how I am used to eating them, which is just to have the eggs built in. It was just never a question. The eggs were always in there. I mean, what's the point of it being a breakfast food if there's no eggs going to be in it? What, just like some wet chips? Oh, they're really good, though. I shouldn't say it like that. Oh, wet chips. But the eggs have always been built in my chilaquiles. It was never a question of putting them on the side or, oh, by the way, eggs don't come with it, so I had to order my extra egg, which, by the way, was really good. That egg on the chilaquiles from this morning, it was all salty and peppery. It was like the perfect amount of salt and pepper. Anyway, I digress. I gotta stop saying that phrase. But the thing of it is like, it was just always implied that eggs, if you're ordering them especially for breakfast, eggs were built in to the chilaquiles. But the chilaquiles I got this morning had no eggs. And I'm telling you, it doesn't say that there's eggs in them anymore on Wikipedia, at least. Okay, so this is what I looked up yesterday. And as you can see, in the main ingredients, tortillas, green or red salsa, pulled chicken, cheese, refried beans. No egg listed. So then we get in a little bit more in detailed fashion. Chilaquiles are a traditional Mexican peasant dish, kind of like pizza, I guess, of fried tortillas bathed in green or red salsa, depending on the region, until tender. Slightly tart green tomatillo sauce is preferred in Mexico City, Jimmy Shaw's hometown. That's a nice little aside. And it's very simple to make. Chilaquiles are most commonly eaten at breakfast time, not uncommonly as a hangover cure. Unlike nachos, chilaquiles are a meal to be eaten with a fork. He eats his Snickers bar with a knife and fork. Nothing is wasted in the Mexican home, so this dish was born as a clever way to revive yesterday's tortillas and leftover salsa. At Loteria, you can ask for chilaquiles to be topped with a fried egg. Oh, so you gotta ask for it special. This is news to me because, again, I've always gotten my chilaquiles with the eggs embedded, usually. Not even on top. This on top thing just feels kind of new to me. Frijoles negros or shredded chicken or beef. If frying your own tortilla chips. Now, see, those additional things make sense to me. Frijole negros, shredded chicken, or beef. Because I've never had, well, I've had beans in it, but usually not chicken, although I've had pork. If frying your own tortilla chips seems too involved, okay, that's just telling you how to do it. Here's another one. Typically, corn tortillas cut in quarters are lightly fried
and lightly fried are the basis of the dish. Green, red salsa or mole is poured over crisp tortilla triangles. See, triangles. It's an Illuminati plot. The mixture is simmered until the tortilla starts softening. Pulled chicken, again with the pulled chicken, is sometimes added to the mix. It's commonly garnished with crema. I love the crema. Crumbled queso fresco, raw onion rings. Oh, raw onion rings. That sounds good. And somebody said they put green onions in it too, and avocado slices. Chilaquiles can be served with refried beans, eggs, scrambled or fried guacamole as a side dish. As with many Mexican dishes, regional and family variations are quite common. Blah, blah, blah. Chilaquiles are eaten for breakfast or brunch. This makes them a popular recipe for leftover tortillas and salsas. Good to know, good to know. Not that we wouldn't know it already. And this is the thing, too, because when you look it up, it says breakfast. It says that's the time that you eat at breakfast. So why wouldn't eggs be the naturally flowing and following thing? But, I guess not every country eats eggs for breakfast. Maybe that's just something I take for granted being an American. So then I went onto Facebook and I asked my friends, how would you prepare chilaquiles? And my one friend sent me this recipe, which actually looks pretty darn good. Chilaquiles verdes. And what it is it's turkey chilaquiles. This is a delicious way to use leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. Wake your family up to a mouth-watering breakfast by preparing chilaquiles in a green sauce. Don't forget to add this recipe to your list of favorites. And that's pretty much it. But they don't. And then I went in and I looked at the ingredients, and there were no eggs in it. It was all turkey. So it looks like it was more of a dinner thing. I don't know. Now maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a dumb American girl, and don't answer that. No, maybe I'm just a dumb American girl, and I never paid attention. But honestly, every time I've gone to a restaurant, they've always embedded the eggs in the chilaquiles. I've never had to ask. I've never had to be like, oh, put my eggs on the side. And they've never put my eggs on the side of chilaquiles. So this is new to me. Also, another weird thing that happened, and I have this other video that I want to make about how when a change occurs, when something shifts, how something you've never heard of before, maybe you start hearing about it all the damn time. But again, I had chilaquiles for breakfast 2 days this weekend, both on Saturday and Sunday. Well, I guess those are the only days of the weekend you can have it. And it was so weird because on Saturday night, I'm walking with my friend on Sunset near Vine, and all of a sudden we just start coughing and we taste all the spice in our mouth and in our nose, and then I start sneezing as though someone has just blown a bunch of pepper up my nose. And we think it was pepper spray, but also too I smelled this really noxious synthetic smell, which was kind of creepy afterwards. And my friend and I were walking towards this parking garage, and so I notice her kind of double over and start coughing, and then immediately after she starts coughing, I start coughing. And then I start walking backwards because the forward part where we're walking towards the parking garage is where I smell the noxious smell. And she goes, Jen, where are you going? You're walking towards the smell. You're walking towards the spray. And I'm like, I don't know. And like there are other people in the street corner coughing and stuff. And it just harkened back and reminded me of how you'd hear stories about in the 50s, how people would spray noxious things on street corners in the 50s, like whether it was viruses or anything like that. And it just kind of creeped me out. But we felt like it was pepper spray, because it like tasted spicy in our mouths. Now the synthetic smell, I couldn't tell you what that was, although Hollywood has been smelling kind of synthetic over these last few days. But anyway, so I walked towards the synthetic smell, past it, and then we got over it, and we spent like maybe about a half an hour recovering. But I think what happened is we were downwind from somebody either grilling hot chili peppers or somebody had sprayed pepper spray. And then I went on this page in my Facebook group, one of my Facebook groups, which is a neighborhood watch group, and I said, hey, I think my friend and I were just sprayed with pepper spray, or there was pepper spray in the air near Hollywood and Cahuenga. And one of the guys on there said, oh yeah, they actually spray pepper spray in front of the Jack in the Box, which was across the street, was diagonally across the street from where we were, to get rid of the homeless population. And I'm thinking, well, that's weird because, what about the other customers eating there? But then again, it's Jack in the Box. Maybe they want them all to go away. I've seen that Jack in the Box. There's a lot of ne'er-do-wells over there. Oh my God, did I just say ne'er-do-wells? But regardless, it's pretty awful that they're doing that. But I don't know. I don't know if we were downwind from there or what the heck happened. But then this other lady chimed in and she said, you know, I harvest really spicy chilies in my backyard and I have to wear gloves and a mask just because they're so strong. And then somebody else said, well, maybe somebody is grilling chilies up the street and it came down and it bit you, so to speak. So that was weird. But it was kind of like a weird little punctuation to my, even though I know chilaquiles don't have those kinds of chilies in them, although they sound like it because it's chila. But it was just a strange little punctuation to my alleged reality shift. And again, it could not be a reality shift. And maybe I'm just a dumb American who never paid attention. And I'm open to that. You know, you can call me that too, as long as it's in endearing fashion. But regardless, I just want to know how you guys remember your chilaquiles. Oh, and I also want to apologize if it's hard to hear me in the beginning of the video. But anyway, that's all. Peace out.